Good afternoon, it's Allison here at rangehot.com, and today we are introducing the CZ P-07. Now this is chambered in 9mm and the color is urban gray and it is silencer ready. So right now I have a magazine full of some Defender ammunition. We're going to shoot it off and see how she runs. Check it out. All right, here I have the Liberty Centurion strapped to this, and I believe this is some Fort Mill munitions, 124 grain subsonic. Let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, that's pretty badass right there.
Here we are wrapping up the review on the CZ P-07 Urban Gray Silencer Ready. First thing I want to do is show you the gun is safe to talk about. So I'm going to drop the empty magazine, lock the slide to the rear. I'm going to show you the gun is clear, good to go, safe to talk about. So the P-07 has been a long staple in CZ's SKU, which is great pistol. It's kind of like your stepping stone between your subcompact small gun and your duty gun. So it certainly serves a role as far as home defense, self-defense, concealed carry, most anything you would want to do with a reliable handgun. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start out here at the muzzle and go down through the features about what I liked and what I didn't like. So it is a cold hammer forged barrel, just under 4.5 inches, 4.4 I believe it right at. You do have the tall silencer sights that you can see. CZ is now updating a lot of their lines, what they call silencer ready. The silencers are getting a whole lot more popular these days, which I'm thankful to see. If you do decide you want to run a can on one of your guns, first thing I do is find a threaded barrel, and then more than likely you got to put silencer sights on it. Being that you see like on this Liberty Suppressor Centurion, silencer's got a little bit of girth to them, and when you thread that on the end of your gun, you can have right much of that silencer sticking up above your line of sight. So CZ's good enough to put these tall silencer sights on it, and that gets these 3-dot night sights above the can, so you're able to acquire a proper sight picture even with the silencer installed. If you're running it without a can, still this rear sight's got a lot of real estate on it. It's got a little set screw in it, and it is adjustable for windage. It does make the sights pretty easy to acquire, especially if you're in a hurry and you're hunting for that sight. Hey, the more real estate, the better as far as I'm concerned. Though they did not interfere with carry. I mean, I carried this pistol concealed right much during the review. I didn't have any trouble with that. I mean, they do stick up a little bit higher, so whenever you're choosing your holster, make sure your holster will accommodate said sights. Moving to the rear of the pistol, it ships from CZ with a decocker where you can safely decock the gun from the hammer being to the rear. If that's the way you want to carry, that puts you at a double action pull. Once again, I'm going to make sure the gun is clear. You decock it, and now you've got this heavy double action pull, which is, you see the take up here, and it's a heavy 14 pounds, right at 14 pounds to actuate the hammer. If you prefer to carry in condition 1 with a hammer back, which gives you a whole lot better trigger pull, 4.5 pounds, pretty consistent. You can see here, a lot less take up, still some take up, but a lot less. Trigger breaks 4.5 pounds pretty clean with some over travel. Now CZ does ship this with a different kind of safety, and you can remove this decocker and install the safety, and that will allow you to carry this pistol with the hammer cocked and the safety engaged like your 1911 if you're used to carrying that condition 1. Calm down. The magazine is a standard P-07 magazine, but this one has been updated. Normally it would be 15 rounds. This has got a factory installed +2, so now you're at 17 rounds in a magazine. Now it is not flush fit, but it's pretty close. Now the back straps here, it ships with this back strap in place, but it's just as simple as pushing a pin, removing the mainspring, and you've got 2 more options, kind of like a small, medium, and large. Being that there are no stocks on this gun that you can take off, you get what you get with this texturing. CZ has at least included some different back straps so you can customize the gun at least a little bit to get a more comfortable fit for you. Moving forward here, you can see it does have an accessory rail, Picatinny type accessory rail. You can mount your light, your laser, what have you. I mean, these accessory rails have gotten very popular for a good reason. So it's already ready. Typical for CZ, the slide does sit down in the receiver a little deeper. Now, the only really problem with that is it does give you less slide to grasp when you go to rack it, because you do have less profile. CZ was it good enough to include some very aggressive rear cocking serrations, as well as making this nice 45-degree cut here at the muzzle end of the slide with some serrations. So it's still no problem to rack the slide, even cocking the hammer. The benefit of putting that slide deeper in the receiver, it gets the bore axis a little lower, gets this bore, this imaginary line through the center of the bore axis, more in line with your shooting arm. And so what that's going to do is that's going to help you mitigate recoil a little bit. So, we've got about 400 and some rounds through this gun of all different kinds. We've got a lot of Defender 115 grain, full metal jacket, Gorilla silverback, SIG V-crown. We shot this out at 25 yards from a rest and got some really nice groups. If you're curious about all the specific ammunition that we shot through this pistol, as well as the groups that it did at 25 yards from a rest, all that's going to be on a chart on rangehot.com, along with a lot more of the technical specifications of this particular firearm. What did I think? I see this gun serving a lot of roles, honestly and truly. It would be pretty good for concealed carry, though like I said, in the summertime you might have to make sure you're choosing the right holster to accommodate a little bit larger gun, as well as your silencer sights and threaded barrel from the factory, as well as you might have to dress around a little bit. Wintertime, if you're wearing even a light jacket, it conceals really nice, no problem. But in my opinion, where this gun would really, really shine is home defense. And here's why. The silencer sights are 3-dot tritium, so you've got night sights from the factory on the gun. With the accessory rail, you can hang your light below it, and that gives you your illumination, whatever you need, light laser combo. But let's talk a little bit about having a silencer on your home defense gun. 9mm is pretty loud, especially if you would have to discharge that inside of a room with no ears. And I mean, understand, if all hell breaks loose and you need to get your gun and start defending yourself, the last damn thing you're going to do is rummage through your damn drawer for your hearing protection, your eye protection, looking for your damn chronograph, your notepad, all that stuff. You're going to need to get the gun and go to work. And I get it. I mean, if you've got to pick between, ringing your ears or defending yourself, then, well, yeah, I mean, hell, that's a no-brainer. But if you can kind of have the best of both worlds, threading a silencer on this gun and running some subsonic ammunition, like the SIG 147 grain V-crown, which is a very good defensive round, subsonic, then God forbid if you ever had to discharge this pistol inside with a can on it, it's not gonna kill your hearing. And even if you choose to run supersonic ammunition, the silencer helps a tremendous amount. So, and Liberty's making this Centurion now, which is a small little kind of a stumpy silencer, a little bit shorter than what you're used to seeing. And it doesn't add a whole lot to the gun if if it's laying on your nightstand. When you decide you want to carry it, thread the can off, thread the thread protector on it CZ provides, good to go. Also, if you shoot some of your local pistol matches, I could certainly see this pistol doing very well. For somebody like me, does pretty fair in the local matches, but I'm not Robbie Latham or Max Michelle or Jerry Michlik. That ain't no secret. If I was, I'd be a hell of a lot more famous. But the fact is, I've got enough skill to where I can run this gun and appreciate what it is for what it is. Cost-wise, too, they're very affordable. So anyway, I'm around a little bit. I apologize. So I'm wrapping it up. I think I'm going to go in the house and have a tall glass of bourbon and watch some Westerns. So I want you to take care of yourself and each other. If you've got any questions, comments, feedback, you loved it, you hated it, sucked, whatever, let me know. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, the whole social media gamut. I love feedback from the viewers and readers, good and bad. That's how we continually make a better product. So please, if you've got any critiques, comments, compliments, I'm interested. So that's it. Take care of yourselves and each other. Look forward to seeing you at the range.